So here are some books that I am really excited to read in the next season, in the next like 3 months. New releases that look really good to me. I think I have 6 books on this list. I've tried to be really intentional with my TBRs lately when I'm looking into the next month or a couple of months to see what I plan on reading. I'm intentionally forcing myself to not put as many books on the TBR as I want to because life's just been crazy lately and I've just not had the amount of time to read as I have in years past, which incidentally is why this video is late, going up on a Friday instead of Thursday, and also I'm filming in the wrong room. So these are the books that look, I mean, I had like 11 books on the list, but I don't want to overpack my list with new releases because I also have a lot of backlisted titles that I want to read too. So these are the ones that look the most interesting and that I will almost certainly, at the very least, try. Anyway, these are books that look really good to me and I think might look good to you too. Starting with, I'm trying to order them according to release. So hopefully I've successfully done that. Starting with The Bright Sword. This is another King Arthur novel. A gifted young knight named Colum arrives at Camelot to compete for a spot on the Round Table, only to find that he's too late. The king died 2 weeks ago at the Battle of Camlan, leaving no heir and only a handful of knights at the Round Table to survive. So it looks like he arrives at the Round Table and finds that the people there are not, in fact, the ones of legends that you would expect, but in fact they're oddballs and misfits and weirdos that, like, how did you get here? How did you get to this position? And that's what he has to work with as he goes to try to, you know, claim a sword and lay siege to Camelot and reclaim Excalibur, which I already said, solve the mysteries of his ruined world and make it whole again. So this naturally, especially it being 700 pages, I wouldn't reach for a King Arthur retelling typically, but it's by Lev Grossman, who's the author of the Magicians trilogy, which is a trilogy that I have some of a love-hate relationship, but mostly love. I really loved that trilogy. It just kind of consumed my life, and while it has its flaws, I love it so deeply. So I don't know, I kind of just want to see what else he's putting out. Like, that one was kind of his own take on Narnia, with like some Harry Potter, but it's mostly, I think he leaned mostly on Narnia. And this is his take on King Arthur. And I kind of want to see how it is. So I'm gonna read it. It's released on July 16. Another book released on July 16 is The Lost Story. Inspired by C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia, this wild and wondrous novel is a fairy tale for grown-ups who still knock on the back of wardrobes, just in case. I don't get tired of Narnia-esque books. I don't get tired of people entering into their other world. I mean, I just said that I loved the Magician trilogy. There are so many, and there have been books like this that I haven't liked, but I really just love this type of story. So I don't think I've read anything by this author before, but I mean, she wrote The Wishing Game, which I know people like, and it's only 350 pages, and I'm gonna read it. It looks like something that I could potentially enjoy. Next we have Black Shield Maiden. This is released, May 7? Oh, it's already out. Oh, I could read it right now. Okay, so this one snuck in a little bit, whoops, but it looks really interesting, and I'm gonna tell you about it anyway because I'm probably gonna read it really soon. A powerful and groundbreaking historical saga about an African warrior in the world of the Vikings. Lore, legend, and history tell us of the Vikings, warrior kings, on epic journeys of conquest and plunder. But the stories we know are not the only stories to tell. There is another story that has been lost in the mists of time, the saga of the Dark Queen. I love Vikings, and this looks like a really interesting take on Viking stories, and I want to read it. Next up we have The Seventh Veil of Salome. This will be released on August 6. It says, a young woman wins the role of a lifetime in a film about a legendary heroine. But the real drama is behind the scenes in this sumptuous historical epic from the author of Mexican Gothic. So I think I've read 3 books by Silvia Morano Garcia, and I have said after the last book, I said, no more. She's not the author for me. I keep loving the ideas of her stories, but the executions, by the time I get to the end, I'm always dissatisfied. So the last time I read one, I said, I'm not gonna pick up whatever she puts out next, but I kind of want to read that. Read this. And it reminds me of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which was a book that was a whole mess, but also I was addicted. I couldn't stop reading it. So I'm probably going to give this a try. And it's only 336 pages, so I'm going to read it. Next, we have the Dead Cattail Assassins, which I actually talked about in my new releases of 2024 video before I decided to do these quarterly. So you may have heard me talk about it before, but it just sounds weird and interesting. The Dead Cattail Assassins will be released on August 6th. It says, the Dead Cattail Assassins are not cats, nor do they have tails, but they are most assuredly dead. So these are skilled professional assassins that live by a code. First, the contract must be just. Second, even the most powerful assassin can only kill the contracted. And third, once you accept a job, you have to carry it out. You cannot back out. And if you do, you're gonna die. You're gonna be killed. Oh, actually, no, it says death would be a mercy, so who knows what they're gonna do to you. So naturally, our protagonist accepts a contract and then, you know, it goes awry. I think just the title, the Dead Cattail Assassins, just sounds so odd, and I like a good assassin story. Call me basic. It's intriguing to me, and it hasn't stopped being intriguing since I heard about it at the beginning of the year, so I really want to give it a try. It is 224 pages. Oh my goodness. The risk is low. I really want to try it. And finally, The Mercy of the Gods. This is released August 6th. It says, how humanity came to the planet called Anjin is lost in the fog of history. But that history is about to end. Okay, so these scientists are dropped in the middle of a struggle they barely understand, set in a competition against other captive species with extinction as the price of failure. And it seems like we're gonna follow someone who is going to become the champion of humanity and the betrayer. He's going to try to save everyone, and he's going to be the most hated man on Earth. I'm not really sure, but I have really been loving sci-fi lately. I love First Contact. I love visiting other planets. I've just been really enjoying this type of story. No, I haven't read The Expanse. I actually started it and DNF'd it. I still might circle back to it eventually, but I haven't had any interest in trying it again. And I know that this is a book that's going to be very exciting to a lot of people, so I want to be in on the conversation. And maybe if I love it, then I'll circle back to The Expanse and give it another try. We'll see. Those are the books that are on my radar that I'm at least going to try that look really interesting to me here in the next quarter. I want to throw one more book out there that I'm not going to read because one of the main tags on it is romantic fantasy, and I just don't have a good history with that tagline, but the cover's so pretty that I just want to show you. It says, "The night ends with fire." Infused with magic and romance, this sweeping fantasy adventure inspired by the legend of Mulan follows a young woman determined to choose her own destiny, even if it means going up against everyone she loves. It's so intriguing to me, but I keep taking a risk on books that have beautiful covers that I know probably aren't going to suit me, and it keeps not working out for me. And since I'm reading less lately, I really want to be selective about the books that I choose, but look at the cover though. Anyway, those are the books that are coming out in the next few months that look really interesting to me that I plan on checking out. Let me know if you're going to check out any of them. Let me know if there are any new releases that you have found that you're looking forward to that you think I should also check out that I might be interested in. I will definitely look them up. Please do chat with me more in the comments. I'll see you again soon. Bye.